Hello there, and welcome to the latest developer diary for Urban Golf. It's been a little over a year since I've done an update video, but I have been working on the game on and off during this time, so I've got quite a lot of things to go through. I've made a list, so hopefully I don't forget anything, so let's jump straight in. So the first feature that I've added in is some level objectives. Now, each level has 5 objectives which the player has to complete. And the aim of this is to really try and promote the player to explore every area within the level, and also give them something to aim for while they're playing the overall game. As we can see, as we go along to the later levels, you have to unlock a certain number of objectives from the previous level before this level becomes enabled. Of course, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same number from each level, so to unlock 6 for the final level, you can unlock all 5 from the first and then 1 from the second. So let's dive into the level now and see how these objectives look like. So from the UI point of view, you're now shown the objectives in the top left. And let's go ahead and actually try and complete this first one. So this is collecting the letters golf within the level. They're sort of scattered around, and it's a player's job to go and find them. And as we can see, this first one here is above this convenience store sign. So let's go ahead and try and access that. So again, this is trying to promote the player exploring the level a little more. And as we saw in the last video, where you could start to climb up buildings, it really helps to explore not just the level from ground, but also when we go a little bit higher. Now let's get on some rooftops. So here, even though we're not necessarily climbing, we're just going to do some jumping. So that's the first one done. Let's just go ahead. And I'll continue discussing a few other things while we go ahead and collect the other letters. So the other objectives, such as achieving a certain score, now use some of the targets that are around the level. So I think if we run past here, you can see on the roof just over there, there was a target. At the moment, these are circular targets with sort of the bullseye awarding the highest score points. And these will be dotted around the map, requiring the player obviously to go ahead and hit them. The idea that I have at the moment is to remove that. So remove the target once the player has actually used it or hit the ball on it. So let's quickly go and find the ball and let's see what happens when we do make that shot. As you can see, now we've gone and collected golf. That's been crossed out in the top left. So let's try and aim for the center. I guess from this distance it should be hopefully pretty simple. And as you can see, the score was increased. The other feature that's been added in is the idea of having level replays, or more replays of how you played the level. So let me go ahead and just quickly finish this. This is also another area where I've made some improvements with the level complete screen. So now you can see your score, you can see what objectives were completed, and you have the ability now to go back to the main menu or replay the level. So let's go ahead and replay. And now you can see in the top right, we have an instance of a previous game mode. And how you can see here is this ball is now red. And what this actually is the previous shot that I made in that last game mode. Now, unfortunately, I think as we were running around and collecting golf, that took quite a long time. So let's go ahead and actually just hit another one a little bit quickly. And it'll track up to 3 of your highest scores on any map and save that information. So that was 50 for that one. Let's go ahead again and quickly sort of force the level to be over. And because we didn't unlock any new objectives for this level, we just list which ones still need to be achieved. Let's hit replay. So now you can see in the top right, we've got 2 replays. And you can see we have the red ball here. That was the shot that I hit in the first session. And this blue one here is the shot that I've just hit in the second session. So what happens is these shots are replayed at the exact same time in your game that you hit them in your previous game. I hope this becomes a little bit more clear in a moment when this shot gets executed. So what you'll see is this ball following the same trajectory that I hit it in the first one, and the score was also increased by 50, just like it did in that first game mode. So the idea here is to include replays not just from your own game, but maybe from your friends, other online players, and create a multiplayer experience within Urban Golf. Perhaps while we wait for the time to go down and this first shot to be hit as well, let's take a look at the objective to find the hidden bag. Now, just like in Tony Hawk's, where it had the secret tape, there is one objective, or there will be one objective in each level that you have to try and collect. And this is inside this abandoned shop here. There's seemingly no way to get in. Let's just try the back door. No, that's closed also. But what we do have is this nice burning gas canister out the back. And what happens here, if we're to go ahead and try and hit this, it explodes and has actually opened the door for us. So the idea here is having elements within the game world which can then interact with the level and allow the player to explore a little more. Of course, an exploding canister opening a door is just one. So actually, let's go ahead now and try and achieve the other objective here of the good score of 200. As we can see just then from the first shot at the top right here, we have this player 1 of 100. That was the first shot we made in that first game. Let's quickly just try and get 200 here. We can go ahead and just hit that same ball again, I think. It is perhaps cheating a little bit to hit it straight back onto this target we've just hit, but nevertheless, let's give it a go. Perfect. So you can see why it would be maybe sensible to remove the ability to hit a target once you've hit it, because you could just stand very close to it and continue to hit the same ball. So if you do achieve a high score, the game now lets you know. And again, we can see which objectives were completed in that mission or in that level. So let's go back to the main menu. And now if we do play, this level is now unlocked because we achieved 3 objectives from the previous level. And as we can see at the moment, these have been incorrectly shown for this level. Of course, this should be now completely open, but I've not really worked on the objectives for the city level just yet. So for future plans, the next step is to add in some of the elements that we can see here with the free climbing, more around this city environment. At the moment, it is just this building, which has that functionality. Add it into the first level, and also make sure the objectives are working nicely in all the other levels as well. With the idea of having a playable game which could be released for maybe beta testing toward the middle of this year. So that's it now. We'll just wrap up. Thank you for watching. It's been quite interesting to be developing these features, obviously in the background. As always, I'm hopeful to do a few more of these videos just to get a bit of an insight for you guys as to what's actually happening behind the scenes. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.